On the surface, syrup is a very simple recipe. Water and sugar added together and boil, and you got a syrup. That's true, but it does have some pitfalls. In this video, we'll show you what they are. Water and sugar, that's basically what you need for a syrup. The thing is, if you're making a very thick syrup, you need two different kinds of sugars. So start with the water, add the sugar, and this is a 1-to-1 syrup. 1 part water to 1 part syrup, to 1 part sugar. Just have to heat it, and then you have the syrup. And when it cools, it's almost liquid like water. If you want to make a 1-2 syrup, meaning 1 part water to 2 parts sugar, you add more sugar naturally, and this is the syrup from before. You bring it to a boil, then it clears up, and you have the syrup. That's easy too. And when that cools, you will have a slightly thicker syrup like this. And now comes the trick. If you want to go higher than 1 to 2, this is a 1 to 3, this is the syrup from before, and I add some glucose instead of normal sugar. That will prevent crystals from forming. But the principle is the same. Bring it to a boil, and when it clears up, you have the syrup. You need more than 20 to 25% to avoid the crystallization of foreign sugar, and when it cools to room temperature, it has this thickness. And now the thickest syrup that you can practically make is a 1-to-4 syrup, and I have the glucose from before, so I don't need to add any more. That's 25%, and it won't crystallize. Bring that to a boil, and it's really difficult to dissolve the last crystals. So often it's a good idea to strain it. But bring it to a boil, and when it's clear, you have the syrup. And it's a really thick syrup. That's about as thick as you can do it. And this is one where I made a 1-in-3 syrup, and I didn't add the glucose. And you can see it's one big lump of hardened sugar. One big, well, not one big crystal, but a lot of crystals. And this is the differences in the syrups. So that's easy. And you can find the list of ingredients and the recipe on kvalifood. Sirup, det er på overfladen en meget enkel opskrift, men der er alligevel et par huller, man kan falde i. Så her er en video, der viser, hvordan man laver en sirup og hvad grundreglerne er omkring det.